So guys, it's another big blow on Tinubu as this northern leader has come out to say that Tinubu does not deserve another second term. You know, going by the results so far, in this his first term, that he does not deserve to come back again. And he has listed out his reasons for saying that Tinubu is not going to gain the support of the North. They are not going to vote for him and all that. I'm going to allow you to take a look at this video. This is coming at a time when Gbajabiamila was telling former lawmakers, you know, those of them that were with him on the floor of this the House of Rep, you know, he met with them, those people that were with him, and he tried to convince them to rally support for Tinubu, to help Tinubu to come back. I mean, the northern ex-lawmakers. But this man is saying that Tinubu does not deserve to come back again, going by the judgment so far, that 4 years is enough for him to end the support of the North, meaning that this first term, he is supposed to have worked hard to convince Nigerians that he deserves to come back again. Just the same thing Peter will be saying, that 4 years is enough for him to lay strong foundations for Nigerians, you know, to see that leadership is not rocket science. Now, this man is saying that, see, Tinubu has not earned the support of the people of Nigeria for them to come out again and vote for him for second term. I'm just going to allow you to take a look at this video and let me know your honest reaction in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Now take a look.
But the performance of this government, as it affects me, an ordinary Nigerian, and you, and many others, is minus 10%. It is not something that can earn the government or earn President Bola Ahmed Tinubu another term or another re-election. All this time in Nigeria, election cycles are fought on the basis of what has the government done, has the government kept promise with its pledges before the election, has the government made the country more cohesive, more united? Has infrastructure developments been evenly spread? Has it been achieved? Has the activities of government been all-inclusive? These are the, and many others, are the measurables that will judge our leaders. So, the framers of the Constitution could have framed the Constitution in such a way that the President is given one term of 8 years.
So that no complaint.
So that there will be no complaint. But they did it to give the President one term of 4 years, renewable. So some of us that were defeated in the last election have kept pace with the democratic principles of waiting for the day where we are going to join Nigerians to pass judgment on the government at the national and subnational levels. So, for me, the President must earn my vote.
And you think in the last 2 years, there is nothing to justify that? They say they are taking bold steps to actually retool the pattern of government in Nigeria.
The last 2 years have alarmed ordinary Nigerians, and especially those people that are political practitioners. First and foremost, the President pledged to hold this country together. But this country has become more divided than ever before, whereby now the campaign war cry is Buhari had done 8 years and Bola Ahmed Tinubu should be given an opportunity to do another 8 years.
Are you making reference to what Bayo Onanuga said?
Yes, I'm making reference to what Bayo said, what Babangida Aliyu said, and what many others have said. If Buhari's government was a failure, this government of Bola Tinubu in 2 years is a disastrous catastrophe.
You mean it has overshadowed the 8 years?
Of course it has shadowed. It has failed in all ramifications. The country has regressed.
Then how do you reconcile this? Because now you just mentioned Babangida Ali, who, at the time led the Governors Forum under the PDP, here in Nigeria. And I earlier, mentioned these two groups of former lawmakers, all of them from Nigeria. They met, they said, look, we have to leave whatever we are thinking of until Tinubu expand these 8 years.
No, these are personal opinions. They do not represent the regional sentiments. They do not represent the Nigerian evaluation of the government of Bola Tinubu within the last 2 years. The fear is that this government has shown incapacity to change the trajectory of its governance in the country as of today. And if it is allowed to go for the next 2 years, I'm sure the country will be bleeding in all spheres of life. The economy is bad, national cohesion is bad, ethnocentrism has been uplifted to the highest level, corruption has more than tripled, failure of government in security is ravaging the country, and it is very, very surprising that even people of repute who have spoken that this government should be allowed not only to conclude its 2 years, but for another 8 years. In their own states, there are local governments in their own states that are now under the absolute control of bandits. And it beats my imagination that people who directly have been affected will come on national television and say that it is only fair. Look, in 2003, all the governments in the Southwest endorsed President Olusegun Obasanjo.
This was 4 years after the return of democracy.
Yes. Tinubu led the vanguard to reject that. Obasanjo was a southerner like him. Obasanjo was from the Southwest like him. If what he did in 2003 to President Obasanjo was acceptable, what we are doing now should also be acceptable. And everybody will tell you that between the period 1999-2003, the administration of President Obasanjo had earned the trust of Nigerians.
Maybe because you are part of that government.
Well, everybody felt it. Everybody felt it. Everybody felt it. The government impacted on its primary responsibility of providing protection to the lives and properties of Nigerians nationwide. The government was able to turn around the economy that was collapsing under the military administration. The divisiveness in the country, the polarity of the country then, because it was north-south, military, civilian, was overcome. But here are we, 25 years later, we are in a terrible mess where endorsements, contrived endorsements, is the order of the day, not performance of government.
Then where is the missing link? Because you said in 2003, Tinubu ordinarily should, of course, on different platforms, those days, but then he objected his own kinsman. Now here we are, 25 years fast forward. It's like the trumpet is more audible from this part of River Niger compared to how he is being endorsed across the Niger. Where is the missing link? What is the problem?
No, you see, I shudder at appearing on national television and be talking about this divide. But to illustrate the point one is making, you have to make references to sordid performance of the government of the day. Look, as of today, minimally, in the South, there are 10 ministers of key ministries, all from the Southwest. There are 3 ministers from the South-South. There are 2 ministers from the Southeast. Where is the balance, even in the South? Where is the balance to justify the continuity of such an administration? Where is the balance in terms of other key important appointments that this government has done. There is a problem in Nigeria, like many other developing African countries, where ethnicity, corruption, nepotism is almost the order of the day in administration. In Nigeria, we have never had it this bad, where one section of the country or one geopolitical zone out of the 6 geopolitical zones of the country is dominating the economy, the politics, the military, and all aspects of life to the detriment of the 5 other geopolitical zones. And just because the government of the day has important commodity in his hand to purchase people's conscience, we are having a spate of endorsements all over the country. That does not win an election.
You think these endorsements coming from 8th Senate, 9th Senate, and northern governors, APC governors, and all that, is not from the heart?
It might be from the heart, but it doesn't deliver votes. I am assuring you that in many parts of this country, not only the north, people will judge the government based on its performance, not even on its promise, on its performance. How do the people rate the government as far as it touches their lives in all spheres of administration? Look, I have so many Yoruba friends, if I can descend that low, in the course of my education, in the course of my public service, in the course of my political participation, so many. But President Bola Ahmed Tinubu from the Southwest, a Yoruba man, does not represent the competencies of the Yoruba people in Nigeria.
How do you mean, Your Excellency?
Yes, we have had president of Yoruba extraction who came at the country which was divided, who was taken from prison and given the opportunity to serve Nigeria once again, who was imprisoned by what you call a northerner, who was subjected to a lot of indignities in the course of his imprisonment. When he came, he didn't look back. He looked forward. That the unity of Nigeria was non-negotiable. And he was fairly in his administration to all parts of this country. And many people have worked for him. I want to tell you, from 1999 to date, we have not had a president with the equal success of President Obasanjo.
Maybe because you're very close to him, you're part of the foundation members of PDP and all that.
Look, Hamza, it's not a question of one is part of it or not. The records are there to show how did he administer Nigeria and how did he leave Nigeria to his successor.
Of course, we are going to open the telephone line in the course of the program. Maybe some members of your former party, PDP, or those close to the government of the day will come maybe to actually disagree with some of the issues you are raising. But my concern is still about the gale of endorsement. Just last week, we had an incident in Kaduna where the Sardauna Foundation hosted the Lem del Cream of the North. And with the exception, I think, of Arewa Consultative Forum, which now reminded the president of some of the covenants they entered with him, at the end of the day, the communique indicated that no vacancy in the presidency until 2023. What is your take on Sardauna Foundation? Maybe you are aware of how it was formed, and now such a notable organization talking about the conscience of the North, Sir Ahmadu Bello. It is the institution that now hosted the key people from the North and those in government to actually endorse the president.
What the leadership of the Sardauna Foundation did was sacrilegious.
It was sacrilegious?
Yes, to the name and honor of Sir Ahmadu Bello. absolutely sacrilegious, because it was contrived. It was a contrived gathering. A lot of people of northern origin who were beneficiaries of the Sardauna legacy were not invited.
Are you referring to yourself? Or
no. There are many of us. There are many of us that were not invited, because we would have stood our ground. Fortunately, the chairman of the Arewa Consultative Forum, that is more representative of the Northern Pulse, was there to show that the government of the day has been very unfair and not equitable in terms of distribution of resources, in terms of distribution of infrastructure, in terms of appointments into the governance of this country. And I want to tell you that if you look at it, if you can replay the video, a lot of hands were raised to be allowed to answer questions. The chairman of the panel refused to recognize such.
Why do you think?
Yeah, because it was contrived. It was contrived.
It wasn't an open forum.
It was not an open forum. It was not an open forum. I'm telling you with the best of intention that what happened was government sponsored, and the sponsorship was so disgusting to the extent that people in uniform were allowed and invited to participate in a partisan and political function.
But do you have evidence that gathering was sponsored by government?
Yes, we have evidence.
Share with
you could see it. You could see it in terms of the representation of government, in terms of that even the Federal Executive Council was postponed, so the minister will go.
But what was the trigger of that meeting? Because
the trigger is the fear that opposition is now being reorganized to challenge the government and provide an alternative platform to the two parties, to the then two parties that were dominating the Nigerian political space, the APC and PDP. And a friend of mine, just 2 days ago, Gino Malai, said the PDP is now a parastatal of the government and the APC.
Of course, I have so many questions. I hope time will allow us, because you are one of the few foundation members of the PDP. All these 26 years or thereabout, you didn't move an inch. But I will come back to that. But I want us to actually exhaust what happened in Kaduna. Do you think that the Sardauna Foundation will stoop so low to be allowed to be compromised?
From my vantage position and what I have heard and what I have seen and what I have discerned from the personalities there, the context and contents of discussions on that floor, there is no doubt that it was sponsored by government. No doubt about it. And that's why there was no level, there is no limit to the low descent of the leadership of the Sardauna Foundation to demystify the name of the late Premier of Northern Nigeria of blessed memory.
With all sense of responsibility, if Sardauna were to come back, how will you describe the gathering?
Anyway, if Sardauna were to come back, there wouldn't be a Sardauna Foundation in the first place, because he would not allow it.
He would not allow it?
Yes, knowing his character, from what we have read, he wouldn't allow it. He doesn't allow personal utilization. He will not.
Do you think some people are using it as a special purpose vehicle?
Well, some people are using it to be paid, to be recruited to do the dirty works, which is sacrilegious to the memory of the late Premier.
But now the outcome, has it paid off?
Well, it has not paid off in the sense that it has not doused the strident calls for political participation, for the opposition to heighten their organization. All these things are happening. Why? Because some of us realized that our former platform had become severely compromised that it will not play the role of an opposition party. And so we went to coalesce to form and adopt a political party called the ADC.
Yes, which will come to
hope.
Yeah,
there's now giving hope that.
But there are many question marks on the ADC, which I will also ask you. But finally, on the event in Kaduna, you know, the Latu, you know, when he spoke, he narrated so many things, including what they agreed on with the president. How will you rate his speech there? And does that align with the feeling and sentiment of ordinary northerner?
No, I think there are two things. Before you rely on the speech of Dalhatu, the Wazir Duse, on the floor,
yes,
you need to have the full text of his speech, which he didn't exhaust. Then you will know the feeling. And the text was circulated after he finished.
Yes.
And he really debunked. He really debunked because he was aware that what was being contrived was government-sponsored activity to try to now present this administration, the current federal administration, in better light than its performance as far as the ordinary Nigerian is concerned. Look, that day the conference took place, 41 people were slaughtered in Katsina.
That same day?
That same day. None of the governors, the president there, mentioned it. None.
Because it wasn't an issue.
There are at least 3 or 4 local governments in Niger State that are under the control of bandits. Mariga, Shiroro, and others that are under the control of bandits. In Niger State, the home state of the chairman of the Gamji Foundation himself. 2 days after, Funtua Molumpashi Road was blocked for 6 hours. More than 500 vehicles on each side of the road were blocked for 6 hours. No movement by bandits. And yet we have got fighter aircrafts, we have got helicopters, we have got all sorts of armaments with our troops.
You think
the bandits had to be allowed to finish what they are doing and leave.
Are you saying it was deliberate? Some of these security challenges.
It's not deliberate. It's the incapacity of the leadership to deal with one threat to its primary responsibility, which is security of lives and property.
Yes, they'll have to mention that ahead of the 2023 election. They start with key, contenders like Atiku, Obi, Tinubu, among few others, even including the person who contested under ADC, Dumebi Kachuku in Kaduna. But he said it appears that the president has dumped most of the promises he made. He reeled out so many roads in the north, the Barrow Port, the dam in Taraba, where we are going to have electricity and all that. What is the way forward now?
The way forward is to change this government in 2027.
Under which platform?
Any platform. Any platform.
Now, you since 1999, you've been an ardent member of the PDP. It was a bit shocking when you announced your exit. I think you started when you landed in Kanu, you went to Hadeja, I think. And then, I think what is in Uguru that you announced your exit. Some of your followers who have been with you since 1999, come rain, come shine. Don't you think they were shocked by that decision to leave for certainty to uncertainty?
As you rightly said, I am a leader of some people. Some people, they see me as their leader.
You control the whole of Yobe South
no.
for a very long time.
Let us be modest.
Even though Yobe was APP, ANPP.
Yes. Let us be modest.
Okay.
I am recognized by a large percentage, a large population in my home state they defer to me and accept me as a leader, that they can follow me into political battle. And they have been following me from 1999 to date. I lead from the front, I don't lead from the rear. I have realized that the platform that I belong to, that of which I'm a foundation member, that I have nurtured to be the second best party in my state, successful probably 20%, 25% of the time, but providing, an expression of democratic free choice is no more tenable, it's no more acceptable to me. You are, by implication in your question, lamenting my exit from the PDP.
Well,
the leadership, I'm coming.
Yes.
The leadership of the party is not lamenting. Not only me. Governors have left the PDP to join the APC. Nobody is talking about it. We were 13 governors. In fact, at a certain time, there were 14 PDP governors. Today, there are just about 10. In the 10, 3 have announced endorsement of the candidate of another different party. The party is not sanctioning them. We have people that have come openly to say they will work against the candidature of our presidential candidate in 2023, and that they will make sure that in 2027 the PDP is not strong enough, is not reliable enough to field a candidate, and yet the party has not been able to sanction them. Now we have a PDP that is dilly-dallying with members who are not, with people that are not members of the PDP to take its presidential ticket. And yet, people in the PDP who could have been presidential candidates have left the party, and there is no response, no regret, no attempt to get them back. And we have a situation where the PDP leadership is now challenging ADC as if ADC is in government. ADC is an opposition party. PDP is an opposition party. We can work together from our different positions to uproot APC, which is our main target. But yet, in every day release, every slightest opportunity, the PDP is not attacking APC, it's attacking ADC.
But someone will say that this is your party. The man at the helm of affairs, Ambassador Damagu, is your younger brother. Have you spoken to him?
There's no question of younger brother. It's question that there is a leader of the PDP in place. We happen to come from the same state. We happen to come from the same senatorial constituency, Yobe South. But the leadership of which I helped him to succeed to is not living up to my expectation. Not only me, but a lot of people that have left the PDP, and there are many senior people that have left the PDP to go into other parties. Nobody is talking about it. From 40 senators, we are down to 28.
Look, but your transition is not from...
Look. If you go on a leadership course, and the end result of it is that your party have regressed from when the point you took it over to the point when you are in leadership position, you don't qualify to be given another chance.
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't be. You shouldn't be.
But I remember the famous declaration by Patience Jonathan. You know that.
Yes,
okay, if your son...
I was just about to come to that. I was just about to come to that. She said, if you fail,
yes,
you should go for a receipt.
Yes, because she was a teacher.
Because she was a teacher. The university I attended, when you fail, you fail. There are certain failures that when you fail, you are actually withdrawn. Completely. You are not given a chance to receipt. No, repeat. So, you are withdrawn. What the PDP leadership has done now is very unfortunate that leadership has not sat down to evaluate itself and see that the performance of the leadership his own performance is as bad as the performance of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Nigeria.
Now, some will say you are actually retrogressing in a way from frying pan to fire, because the crisis in ADC, some are thinking that it may not even survive next month.
What is the crisis?
There are some, like I think the chairman in Nasarawa and I think Benue, they have gone to court to challenge the takeover by your people, you inclusive, David Mark, Atiku, and all that.
These are all fairy tales.
Through the back door.
These are all fairy tales. From day one, we know.
One of them even declared himself interim chairman.
We know from day one
that
we are going to face obstacles. From day one. And you will be shocked to hear that we have been in this business of trying to get a platform. We that are dissatisfied with our political parties, for 18 months we have been meeting, negotiating, evaluating, looking at all angles before we finally settle for ADC. They are very competent people. In the ADC today, there are more competent people in ADC than in this government, in the federal government, I'm telling you, with all respect to them.
Oh, this was the same thing ahead of 2015.
All these things that are happening will not pass, will come to pass.
How will it come to pass when you have the likes of Obi, who is nocturnally, I mean, a full member of ADC, asking for one term? We also saw Amechi saying he will deliver. And people believe you are very close to Atiku Abubakar. Is that correct?
Yes, I am close to Atiku.
And if you were to hold primaries today, you will vote for Atiku?
Oh, certainly.
Not Obi and not Amechi?
Yes, if the three of them are contesting, I will have a choice. And I will make the choice.
And your choice is Atiku?
Of course. If Atiku is contesting, of which he has not told you, nor has he told me, you cannot put it on the table. What is happening is that is Atiku competent to be president of Nigeria? He is.
But he is a serial contender.
Hold on. Is Obi competent to be president of Nigeria? He is. Is Amechi competent to be president of Nigeria? He is. What you should look at it is the positive characteristic of these three people. There are competencies on the table of ADC. They are not failures. They are competencies. And you should be at home. In APC, there is no choice. We have only one person that is buying endorsement, and yet he is failing in his primary responsibility in the leadership of this country.
So some will say it's better to remain with certainty than to now change your uniform and go to uncertainty. Any of these three people, maybe Atiku, Obi, or Amechi, or any other person, or even your humble self, that emerges maybe president, you will go for 2 times. Any of them, even though Obi said 1 time, but not all Nigerians, trust him.
Hamza,
yes.
In your introduction, you referred to me as a 3-time candidate of the PDP. You didn't say a serial loser.
I'm going headed to that.
You didn't say I'm a serial loser. You say a 3-time. But I know. You'll be very well. You have been following my activities. I am not a failure. I failed the election.
You weren't just lucky maybe to be governor.
No, it's not a question of luck. The people didn't vote for me.
But you've been to court, challenging.
Yes, I have been to court.
Meaning that you believe maybe you've won.
I exhausted all democratic opportunities to be the governor of my state 3 times. I didn't. I accepted. What I want to say is that in 2027, everybody should have the opportunity to aspire to be the president of Nigeria. We are not going to live in Nigeria. We are only one man. Like the days of Abacha, is endorsed by everybody to be the president of Nigeria. Let me also remind you, in 2015, we went through this. Just a few years ago. Endorsement of Jonathan was everywhere. Everywhere. Governors were endorsing, members of the religious clerics were endorsing, business community were endorsing. When the people were given the opportunity to pass a verdict, they passed a verdict that terminated the leadership of President Jonathan.
But don't you think Nigerians are so weak going by their predicament in terms of economy, in terms of security, for them to even think of making a different choice?
I want to repeat, Nigeria had never had it so bad like within the last 2 years. Nigeria had never had it so bad like the last 10 years. What is the common denominator in these last 10 years? APC administration, whether it is Buhari or Bola Tinubu.
I know I asked you this question.
We are challenging the platform. We are challenging the leadership produced by that platform. We are not challenging a southern president. We are challenging the president of Nigeria elected by Nigerians under the platform of the APC. That is accepting that he has been elected.
I just received a text message here, yes, Your Excellency, saying you people are the same set since 1999, whether ADC, whether APC, whether PDP. And here, you are condemning PDP, the party that actually made you what you are, in a greater sense. Now you have moved to ADC, which is also having internal problem, and then condemning APC, which is trying to counter the narrative by quoting key people from the north. What are you people bringing to the table?
Look, see, it is bad strategy for APC that has produced the current president of Nigeria in the person of Bola Tinubu to be talking about north and south, for goodness sake. Nobody is talking that the North gave him 64% of the votes that made him a minority president. Nobody is talking about that.
You see him as a minority president?
Oh, he is a minority president. He is a minority, he knows it. And that's why the legitimacy is a bit shaky.
But don't you think history will repeat itself, going by assuming in 2023,
we have learned our lesson.
Obi and Atiku were on the same ticket.
We have learned
Atiku had around 6 point something.
See,
Obi,
we have 2 years to go. We have learned our lesson. And the performance of the lesson we have learned has been a disaster for everybody. I didn't expect, even though I never believed the result of the election will produce such a candidate or such a leadership, I didn't expect that the performance will be this bad, so low, such a catastrophe to the corporate existence of Nigeria. Look, the existence of Nigeria, corporate existence of Nigeria is under threat. Like it has happened in many countries of the world. If the leadership is bad, if the leadership is not performing, if the leadership is divisive, if the leadership is corrupt, if the leadership is nepotic, the existence of the country is called into question. We must be mindful of that.
All right, Your Excellency. Viewers, it is now time for you to actually call and give your contribution to this conversation with Alhaji Adamu Maina Waziri, former Minister of Police Affairs, three-time gubernatorial candidate of the PDP in Yobe State, a member of Board of Trustees, former of the PDP, now a chieftain of the ADC. Make your questions brief, to the point, no foul language. We're expecting your call. But then I want to take you on this now. Do you foresee maybe Obi and Atiku coalescing into a force? Candidate and vice?
No. I am not going to answer the question. I will do what the Americans say. I will take the Fourth Amendment. That is, I do not want to answer the question because I don't want to incriminate myself.
You don't want to incriminate yourself?
I have been in a room where discussions were held. Atiku was there, Obi was there, Amici was there. We were there to witness a declaration by them that this time we need to strengthen, build our party.
Okay, we have a caller. Hello, who's on the line? Welcome to Sunday Politics.
Yes, good evening, Sunday Politics.
Yes, you are welcome.
My name is Abakar, calling you from Gwagwalada.
Here in Abuja. Okay, go straight to the point, please.
I greet your guest. It's a beautiful thing. That is a beauty of democracy. There is no way a plural country like Nigeria will be boxed into a corner of a one-party state. It's not possible. It's not possible. With the plurality of Nigeria, with diversity of people who of different backgrounds, ethnic groups, people of different exposure and a talented population will be boxed into one party state. It's unacceptable. And ADC is a viable opposition group. It is good that we have politicians who have contributed to their fatherland. Some of them may have their shortcomings. That is human nature. And I believe by this time around, they will come and correct their shortcomings, correct their past mistakes. It happened in other clans.
Okay, Abubakar, now,
yes,
are you saying you are in tune with what Adamu Maina Waziri is saying here, that they have learned their lesson? Will you trust them?
Yes, they have learned their lesson, because, yes, I'm in love with him, sir, your August Bisto. Let me start at example.
Briefly, yeah.
It happened in Brazil when the political class messed up the whole situation, and the military took over. They escalated the economy woes of Brazil. Later, it was a coalition of former leaders, politicians, ex-military men, clergymen, civil rights organizations. Their formed coalition, their later led the formation of Workers' Party.
All right, thank you.
Workers' Party came to power in the 90s. It produced Lula.
All right, thank you. Abubakar has a lot to say. You are smiling. Do you think you will get the buy-in of the people he mentioned? Traditional rulers, workers, students, and all that, for you to actually sail through and defeat Tinubu?
Amza, let me emphasize what Abubakar is saying.
Okay, we have another. He will be our last caller, so that I will allow you to actually answer these questions. Yes. Hello, go ahead. Who is on the line?
Hello, good evening.
Okay, good evening. Yes.
Please, I'm so impressed with the narrative the guest is giving.
Okay.
But I've been have a doubt in my issue.
Okay.
The statement he's been making is good, in fact. But the situation we have been facing in Nigeria, do you think that this ADC can make it?
Okay.
Because I've been thinking, whenever we are in Nigeria for decades, you can't fight government.
Fighting government, very difficult.
Government are so strong in the sense that when we come sometime, we have to forget about some certain things that is going and choose what, even we have a choice, that this is our choice.
All right, what is your name? What is your name? I think you have.
Kabir, please. I'm calling from Bida in Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Kabiru. Please, so that because we have less than 2 minutes to wrap up the program, and I want His Excellency here to respond to what you said. Defeating incumbent government.
No. First and foremost, what Abubakar said.
Okay. And we have less than 3 minutes to wrap up. Yes.
We are in democracy, and the voters, Nigerians of voting age, should be given an opportunity to make a political choice.
Will they be given? Did you trust INEC?
The PDP,
yes,
the PDP, the APC, and now the ADC, and any other party that will come, is strengthening that democratic principle. So we are giving. And the answer to not trying is failure. We have tried, we are trying to provide an alternative political platform, in the political space, for people to make a democratic choice. That is one. Now, what is the second question?
Yes, Abubakar Kabiru is displacing a ruling party.
Yes.
And they said Tinubu, a dogged party, he had installed countless...
At a young age, I came close to people that challenged the military in 1996, 97, 98. They gave birth to the formation of PDP, APP, and AD. If we are able to challenge from the time of Sani Abacha to the time of Abdul Salam Abubakar to bring in democracy in 1999, it doesn't matter. A civilian like me is challengeable and he is defeatable, and we are going to challenge him and fight. It doesn't matter INEC and the rest of it. We had a president in 2015 who had got all the panoplia of governance. He was challenged and defeated, and Nigeria survived.
But in addition to the financial watches at the disposal of Tinubu, of course, he has the instrument of state. You mentioned it. You know, we don't have time, but what is trending today is the issue at the NNPC, you know, and then the issue at the CBN, even though in Daily Trust we reported this back in March, you know, 16 directors, almost 9.
You can see what is happening in NPC. The initial accusation is for a lady who is alleged to be a very close friend of President Bola Tinubu. Within 24 hours, the spin doctors have spin the story now.
They said
that the man involved is now the in-law of Atiku. All this chicanery will not be acceptable. It cannot override the dire economic situation, the dire security situation, the nepotism, the clannishness of this government. We are challenging this government. We are going to defeat it democratically come 2027.
We have come to the end of the program, but in 2 sentences, what are the chances of ADC going by, you know, what happened? Even Europai, I think they were, it was in Sokoto or where? And they have been called to order to allow Tinubu to actually run his government.
I want to tell you that we do not see what we are doing as a picnic party. We are veterans in this field. We are going to challenge this government. We are going to challenge President Bola Tinubu, and we are going to defeat him in 2027, inshallah.
Thank you very much, Alhaji Adamu Umaina-Waziri, foundation member of the People's Democratic Party, now a chieftain of the African Democratic Party. We thank you for coming to the program, and we have to have you some other time.
Thank you very much.
And viewers, that's a wrap on today's package of Sunday Politics. Join us tomorrow for Daily Politics on Trust TV. Bye-bye from here. I'm Hamza Idris.
So guys, permit me to move away from this topic on the screen and let me take you through another headline on the social media Twitter. Now, there is a headline that says citizens in diaspora trafficking drugs are embarrassing Nigeria, Tinubu government. So the Tinubu's government is saying that Nigerians in the diaspora who are doing all these dirty businesses, they are embarrassing Nigeria. Actually, yes, they are embarrassing Nigeria. But, you know, looking at it from the point that Tinubu has once, you know, meddled into this business while he was a youth, and now telling to this youth that they are embarrassing Nigeria if they equally do it, you know, it does not go well. Now, the Nigerians on the social media have replied to this headline. Let me take you through some of the reaction. Like the first person here said, but you have a drug lord in Aso Rock as your principal. These APC supporters are truly you know what that means. He used a nasty word which I don't like using on people, and he added a headline from Bayo Ononuga that says Tinubu's drug business was over 10 years ago. He can be president now. Hey, this is sad. Hey, so APC affirmed that Tinubu has a drug business, did drug business for more than 10 years. So we have a president who has dealt on drug. Sad, right? Tell me if Tinubu is not the highest marketer of Nigeria. Just tell me. Now, let's go ahead. This other person say, you can mention Tinubu without being afraid. Use your heart with your full chest. Official bat is the handle. This person is saying that you can mention Tinubu without being afraid. Use your heart with your full chest. Official bat is the handle. So this person is saying that don't just call Tinubu, use official bat as in let him know you are talking to him. This person says politicians in Nigeria stealing and embezzling our money and brutalizing the masses are embarrassing Nigeria locally and internationally. Yes, so all the borrowed funds, we can't see anything. This person says traffickers and fraudsters should return home and join veterans of disgracing Nigeria. They can join those in Aso Rock and emulate the president and governor that pioneers of disgracing Nigeria. This other person said, hold a mirror and Tinubu and his government will see themselves. Wow, he's saying that on this headline, should be thinking of Tinubu and, you know, his government. This other person say exactly, this is 100% true. Here in Italy, Agbo, people Here in Italy, Agbo people and nation are the ones disgracing us here. They don't want to work. Can you imagine? This other person said they are standing on Tinubu's mandate and it's laid down foundation. Another person said, look, this is the most funny thing I've seen on the internet today. You mean the same Tinubu? Hey. This other person say, coming from Drug Master. Another person say, the number one citizen started it. Another person say, guess they are becoming like the Baron. So the Tinubu's government is saying that those who are meddling into drug businesses are disgracing the country. Nigerians are telling them that Tinubu is the one that taught them how to do it. And this person attached a headline that says, in 1993, Bola Tinubu surrendered $460,000 to the United States government after a Chicago court found the income came from heroin trafficking. So you can see this person said she's talking about the Yoruba people of the southwest Nigeria. This other person said, where did all these ones commit their own crime? He now attached Bajabiamela Tinubu, Sawolu, the governor of Abiodun, governor of Abiodun of Ogun State, and then the one from Delta State, who are said to have committed one thing or the other in one country. And so guys, most times Tinubu don't even need to talk about all these drug related businesses, because guess what, Nigerians will have more advantage over him. This person's official bad drug peddling record in the United States are affecting Nigerians reputation. You know, Abike Dabiri should stop deceiving herself and her likes. Everyone in the world knows Tinubu's drug record. Hi, it's really so sad. Honestly, it's so sad that we are here. And there's a headline here. This person said, outrage at St. Lucia shuts airport for Nigeria's president tied to drug scandal. I don't know. There are so many things here. Anyway, guys, you have heard it. Tinubu's government is saying Nigerians who are involved in all these drug-related businesses are disgracing Nigerians and Nigeria as a country. Now Nigerians have reacted, telling the world that Tinubu is the one that started it. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. Please give this video a like so that you too can recommend it to others, and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you.